Hello, 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 friends. Come on into the craft room and join me. I am your host this evening. I am Caron. I am the ATX Stampin' Lady, and I'm here this evening for Sketchy Monday. I hope you guys are ready for Sketchy Monday makings. You guys, I'm excited about Sketchy Mondays. Sketchy Mondays is a segment that we started about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, where I grab a sketch from wherever I'm grabbing a sketch and I create my own projects based on that sketch. Today's sketch is based on Mojo Monday sketch number 502. All of the measurements and the information is in the event that is in my face on my Facebook page, and there is a link to that event posted in the description box. So definitely feel free to join me along as we create from today's sketch. Mojo sketch number 502, and here is the sketch of what we will be creating, and I'm going to post that up in the upper left hand corner in a little bit so that you guys can follow along if you didn't already have your parts and pieces cut. Guys, I'm going to try to use some items from the annual catalog. Let me share with you from the current annual catalog that went live on May 6th. And some online exclusives that also went debuted on May 6th. If you do not have a demonstrator, you guys, I would love to serve as your demonstrator, help you to satisfy all of your stamping needs and scrapbooking, because scrapbooking is done. Stampin' Up does offer scrapbooking projects and materials now, so you should be able to partake in that. Um, there is a join special this month. And it's an amazing one. I tell you, if I wasn't already a demonstrator, I would join Stampin' Up just because of this deal. Okay, so what happens is for this month, it ends at the end of May 31st. When you sign up to become a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, you will be able our to purchase the kit, it's $99, right? But generally you'll get, I believe it's $125 worth of product. For this month only, you are able to add $165 for in products for $99. You guys, that is amazing. In the 10 years that I have been with Stampin' Up, I've never seen that happen before. But in addition to that, you will get a free paper pumpkin kit. So guys, if you're interested, if you currently spend, $99, $100 with Stampin' Up, you might want to think about becoming a demonstrator. You don't have to do what I do videos or anything like that. You can just sign up for the discount, and that will be amazing as well. All right, so I'm going to tell you about an upcoming event on June 1st at 6:30 p.m. We changed the time. We will be hosting our jointly collaborating with Valerie Turner, a fellow demonstrator, to host our scrapbook workshops. The workshops will be held on Zoom, and then we get together on that evening and we create the layouts and the featured product for our June scrapbook together is Celebrate Together. Okay, I thought this was fun with summer coming up. A great way for you to store your memories. Okay, now for our workshop, it's $20. You don't have to buy anything you don't want to. You can just come on in. It's $20 to register for the class. It is free with a $40 purchase in our online store. This kit is $37 if I remember correctly. And in the registration, we have added some recommended items for you as well to get you to that $40. But in the workshop kit for $37, you get, of course, this awesome, and it's glossy instruction sheets. You'll get the designer series paper, which is beautiful. Let me take this out really quickly. Let me take this out really quickly so you can see what you get in there. the designer series paper. You get 2 sheets of each. And there are papers in the workshop kit that will not be in the regular designer series paper pack, okay? So if you're interested, once we put these together, and this will coordinate with the celebratory sips suite, okay? You get some sticker sheets, some two-tone cardstock, and more sticker sheets. Guys, this is an amazing offer. I'm not a scrapbooker per se, but I'm getting into it. So I hope you can join me and get into scrapbooking as well. Well, we're not here to talk about scrapbooking. We are here for Sketchy Monday makings. So as soon as I get this in here, um, I'm going to get started on our sketch. Now, when I came up with the sketch, or when I designed my thought to create with the sketch, I decided, where's the sketch? You know, I was like going around like, what paper do I use? What this, what that? And I simply decided that I was going to try to make this an all white card with pops of color. Okay, so the pops of color that I'm thinking about using, hopefully we can make it work, is strawberry slush, a little bit of, this is Parakeet Party. This is retired, okay, but I love them. And I use those because I found some drops that were close in color that could work with them as far as my pops of color. So let me share with you some of the products that I used and I'm going to use to create this card. Let's put this aside here. All right, so the first thing, and this is retired, I know it is, this is the Distress Tile 3D embossing folder. It went well, it paired very well with where I was going with my design, so I had to bring it out. I'm also using the Pressed Flowers embossing folder. This is in the 2025-2026 annual catalog. I'm using Memorable Blooms. The stamp set, you guys, is in our last chance items. It's available. The dies, unfortunately, are no longer available. They're all gone. But the stamp set is available, excuse me, in our last chance items section. And then I use our basic borders dies. And I used this die right here to create the image. I went ahead and I did most of it for us. So all we basically have to do is put things together. So let me show you what I have. So this is the sentiment that I think I'm going to use. And I have this flower because I think this one will make more sense than this big one. But hey, we'll see in just a second. So if we follow the sketch, we have a card base that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. That is our card base. We have a piece that is 4 by 5.25, and it's basic white. This piece is what I embossed with the distressed tile. We have a piece that is 2 inches by 4 inches. This I embossed with the pressed flowers. We have a piece that is 3 by 3.25, also with the pressed flowers. We have our die cut element. Now I cut this, and it doesn't matter really unless we're gonna like reduce some of the bulk. But I cut this at 2.25 by 4. But we really just need a little strip that we're gonna adhere to this piece. So we really didn't need all that much, and I might trim it down just to reduce some of the bulk, okay? Now it said we need a die, a circle die that is 3 inches. This is also from Memorable Blooms, from that die set, which is no longer available, I'm sorry. And I was going to use this floral piece, but it might be too big. So we'll see as we get to the assembly how we're going to deal with that. All right, so let's start from the beginning. Now we're going to build this card from scratch, right? Let me put the image up here for you. Hold on just a minute. There it is. I'm going to put this one off to the side so that I can see it. All right, so here we go. So in order to create this card, we kind of have to build bottoms up, right? So we know we have this 4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock. That's right here. And if we look at the image, the first thing we're going to see is we're going to attach this piece to this piece right here. Now I am going to trim it down because I want to reduce a little bit of the bulk, but I don't want to reduce too much of it that I don't have anything to assist me with adhering to the other panel. Okay, so I'm just going to remove just a little bit. If you're watching me, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. I do know that we do have our choice of how to spend our time, one of our most precious resources, and that you take the time to meet with me or spend any time with me. I really do appreciate that. However, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Definitely getting the like or the shares and the comments and the interaction helps me to grow my YouTube channel so that I can present more content for people that might be able to or are interested in learning more about crafting, paper crafting. All right, so here we have this piece. And now we're going to add this. Now, I wanted to add a little bit of texture. Now, in my mind's eye, I said I was going to adhere this piece about 1 inch from the bottom. Okay, that's what I'm using my grid lines for, to line it up about 1 inch from the bottom, like so. And I want to lay things out a little bit before I move forward. That way I can make sure things are making sense, right? Before I put glue and everything in place, right? Let me adjust this light just a little bit. Can you see? I know because it's white, right? You can't see it. Then this is going to go right here. I need to bring this down just a little bit more. So I'm going to go maybe about 3/4 of an inch. Okay. This is our piece that is 3 by 3 3/4. It will go right over top like so. Then we're going to have our circle piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on to this. So I have a backing, right? And then this is going to go like so. And I think, you guys, this flower might be way too big. So I am definitely probably going to use this flower right here. All right, so let's go ahead and get to assembling this card. Now, the first thing I want to do, because it's going to take a little bit of time, is I want to adhere our circular image. Right? And And there's so many ways to add adhesive, liquid glue, or any kind of glue to a detail die. I'm going to use the fine tip on my glue to quickly try to add a little bit of adhesive everywhere here, especially on the tips because I don't want them to rise like that. If you don't have a fine tip for your glue pen, you need to have one, okay? All right, so we should be good. That should be good enough, but we'll adjust if we need to. And then we're just gonna go ahead and match this up. That's the beauty of liquid glue, is you have time, a little bit of time, to make sure that everything is in place before you burnish it into that piece, okay? So we have that. Now, my initial thought, right, was, because I just wanted a pop of color, was to go ahead and use our drops to color in our flower, our floral image right here, and then to use our blends to color these flowers. So let's go ahead and color this flower. I'm going to let this dry for just a quick second. This one is the dark, and I generally start with my dark. You can start to color however you choose to color. I start with dark, light, or medium if I'm going to do a medium. And then I follow up light. And then once it's all done, because I'll have colored over it, I'll go back in with my darker shade to add back in the highlights, okay? Oh, crodoler. I colored the wrong thing. These should have been the plants, the leaves. All right, guys, we're going to have a muddled mess right here because I'm going to color over them with the slush. I should just stamp it over again. That's what happens when I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. All right, let's see how this will work. Again, strawberry slush, my dark. It's okay. I like happy mistakes. Happy mistakes are, you know, in crafting. Sometimes our best works comes from a quote unquote happy mistake. Right? And then we're just gonna pull some of that color out. Pull some of the dark out. And we're not going to go all the way out, right? Not this time, not this pass, right? And here's why. So when I'm going to blend over it again after it completely dries, that's when I'm going to go over, just like second generation stamping where you stamp off. If you kind of do, you'll be able to create a mid-tone if you kind of don't go all the way out to the end on the initial. And you'll see what I mean in just a little bit, right? So we're going to let this dry, like completely. And then we're going to go right back over it, okay? But in the meantime, we're going to do our green again. so we can pull that definition out, right? Get that dark shading going on. Now there is a die for this, but there was initially a die for this. It is no longer available. Only the stamp set is available. But guys, these, excuse me, I'm gonna still let that dry just a little bit. All right, so, but these images are fairly easy to fussy cut. It'll definitely give you an opportunity to practice your fussy cutting skills. Okay, I need more light. I'm sorry. I'm blind as a bat, and I need the light. So I'm just gonna color with these drops, and I'm using, this is Pops of Color. That's what it's called. And I'm just using it to add some pops of color. Making sure that I'm only doing the leaves in the green. And this is going to take some time to dry, which is why I'm doing it and trying to get this part of it out of the way. There's so many ways that we can color things. It's not just markers or ink pads. There are other mediums that you can use for coloring. This is the first time I am using drops to color, so I'm hoping it'll work. Actually, I'm not even hoping, I know it will. And because of the material that it is, it'll also give it a little bit of texture as well. Perfect. I'm going to do my bigger areas first. So this part might take a little bit of time. All right, so to be entered into the drawing to win tonight's card, just leave in the comments and let me know if you have, what are your favorite mediums for coloring, and let me know if you have also used drops to color. That would be interesting to find out. So I was doing a clean and simple with a pop of color. Clean my tip. It rained a little bit here in Austin today, and let me tell you, it kicked up some allergens like nobody's business. Again, the allergies. Any fellow allergy sufferers watching tonight? So what do you think so far? Can you see it? Once that dries, it's going to be beautiful. And because of the die cut, you have the outline shape to help you kind of keep the color where it's supposed to be. I'm actually happy that I'm having the opportunity to use my drops. I'm one of those crafters that I'm guilty of having um, purchasing some items because they're beautiful and then like don't have the opportunity to use them. So I'm happy tonight that I have the opportunity to demonstrate this coloring technique using a product that I've had in my inventory for a minute. Mhm, mhm. Okay, I think that's it. We're gonna let that sit there for a minute and then get everything else put together. It won't be completely dry by the time we're ready to put it together, but we're gonna make it work, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna go back over with the light. From the bottom, because again, I want to pull the color. There we go. And then last but not least, I'm gonna add Wink of Stella on there. Give ourselves a little shine. Okay. And I'm gonna show you how quickly we can go ahead and fussy cut. I don't know where my snips are. Where are my snips? All right. I'm gonna let the Wink of Stella dry just a little bit more before I start doing a very detailed cut, right? And again, if you purchase this Memorable Blooms bundle before the catalog retired, you will have there is a die cut, dies available with this bundle. The items were in the last catalog, I believe it was January through April is where it was, I believe, and it is no longer available, the dies, for purchase. Got to look at those last chance items when when they first go up. Because some items go pretty quickly. Yeah, to make room for all the goodness that we now see in the current annual catalog and the online exclusives. What do you guys think about the online exclusives? If you are speaking to me, I'm not seeing any comments. I'm not sure why. Again, please don't hesitate. Interacting with me makes it go by a little bit faster if we're talking to each other, right? So I don't feel like a crazy loon talking to myself. I do talk to myself anyway. Alrighty. I saw today, I'm not sure where, that Stampin' Up is hosting a virtual scrapbooking workshop. I don't have the details memorized, but go ahead and check my blog, check my online store in the events information, because it will be there. And I'll also post it in my Facebook group, okay, once I have all the details. I'm just taking my a little extra care right now, but normally I could have fussy cut this a little bit faster, okay? All right, so this is what we have, and let's go ahead and put the rest of it together, okay? Because we already know how this is supposed to be. So I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know that I'm gonna, because I'm adding so much layers to this, I'm not sure that I'm going to add any dimensionals to this project. And y'all, that hurts my heart saying I'm not adding dimensionals. Okay? But I'm using the layering to add dimension to the project. All right, so what we're going to do, and I said I was going to do it about 3/4 of the way up. That's where I'm going to start my trim. Make it down on one side, down on one side, and there we go. Turn it over, burnish. Guys, especially when you're working with white and you never know if you're gonna have what do you call that stuff on your hands, ink or anything like that. I highly encourage you, if you're gonna burnish something, like I just made a mess right there, to turn it over and do the burnishing from the back. Okay, that's just another tip for us. All right, and then, so what we're gonna do, it doesn't tell you, but I'm gonna line this up maybe about a 1/2 inch on both sides, and then about 1/4 inch from the lip of this card. That's how I'm gonna line up this piece that's 3 by 3 3/4. And again, I'm not gonna add any dimensionals, any dimensions on here. I probably should. Mm-mm. And the only reason I would contemplate that is because the layering is a little bit off. But I don't have any dimensionals that are not that high, or that would not overcompensate for what we had going on. Okay, so about a 1/2 inch in from that side, and about 1/4 inch up from the bottom. That looks about right. And then we'll go ahead and turn it over and burnish. Okay. I wonder if I can get, I'm at 9,016 steps for the day. I'm wondering if I can get 10,000 today. All right, so there we go. We've got that layer. Now, guys, because I wanted this to be mainly an all white card, that's why I did it the way that I did it, right? But you could definitely use some designer series paper in here. You can use you can stamp your own background. You can use colored cardstock. You can use whatever you want. Um, I think I'm gonna pop. Mm, no, this is what I'm gonna pop up. That and the sentiment. So here we go. Now again, this is wet, so I don't want to be playing with this too much. Okay, this is definitely still wet. So I'm gonna put this right here. Oh, right. Can't turn it over to burnish it. Cannot, because this is still wet. So I'm just gonna take my bone folder, give it a good press. All right, so if you do comment, definitely let me know what medium you prefer for coloring, and if you've ever used non-traditional medium, and by that I mean Nouveau drops or any other drops, any of the Stampin' Up um, enamel effects for coloring your projects, okay? All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of dimensions here. I don't want the profile to be too high. I don't. So I'm going to use these. I have an eye appointment tomorrow. I get my prescription done. So this is going to go here, like so, for our little pop of color. And then I'm going to fussy cut our sentiment. And guys, let me tell you, when I am fussy cutting words, I don't really, I don't remember where I learned this tip, but I don't sometimes tend to be very strict, if that makes this any sense, about where my bumps and ridges go. I really just, you know, kind of shimmy the cardstock accordingly to create what will look like, you know, the bumps and ridges for the sentiment, okay? That's what I do. You can be a little bit more precise when you are fussy cutting your sentiments, if that's what you're going to do. But I'm choosing not to be as precise. I do it on the top as well as the bottom. Wherever it seems like there would be a little bump or a notch, that's where I put it. And again, tonight's sketch is courtesy of MojoMonday. I think that's what it's called. And this is sketch number 502. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the, I think I'm going to go with Secret C, one of our newest in colors, and I'm just going to color my border. I'm going with the dark. I don't like it. Sorry, guys. I don't. I just messed that up. So, but it is just paper, which we have plenty of. And I'm just going to re-stamp it. I'm not going to emboss it this time. Sorry, I just did not like it. And I'm not even going to pretend that I liked it. Not even going to pretend. Makes no sense to do that. Okay, let that sit for just a second. Again, don't forget to register for our second uh, scrapbook workshop. It is going to be held on June 1st at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is a virtual event. So you'll get to join in the fun on Zoom, and it'll be streamed to YouTube. And only if you've registered for the workshop will you have access to the Zoom as well as to the YouTube event. Okay. It is $20 registration fee for the class. It is free if you make a $40 purchase in my online store. We will be featuring the Celebrate Together scrapbook workshop kit. And I believe, if it's off the top of my head, it is $37 for that kit. In the kit, you will get the designer series paper and sticker pack. The tutorial, and all of the kits are oh my gosh, how did she say it? She said it in a way, and I'm not a scrapbooker, so I don't really know the lingo, but it is uh, it's 3 2-page spreads. I think that's correct. I think that's correct. All right, so this is what we're going to have um, of the sketch. Okay, let me turn the light back on so I can see because I am blind without it. All right. Almost done with this card, guys. The next time you'll see me, I saw this awesome technique today. It is, I think it's the Split Go Stampers technique challenge for today. So tomorrow, if you join me for Technique Tuesday, I will be featuring that technique. I think they call it, I don't remember what they call it. I don't. But I'm looking forward to sharing that technique with you. Then on Wednesday, it is Wing It Wednesday. And for Wing It Wednesday, we will be, I'm not sure what kit I'm going to be working with, but I am going to work with one of the newer kits from Stampin' Up. Every month, Stampin' Up releases uh, at least two kits. What did I just do with that thing? Hold on. I just had it. Such is my life. All right. Guys, we are almost done with this card for tonight. What do you think of it so far? It's very simple layout. Um, what did I just do with that? I just had it. If you do need to reach out to me, guys, just go ahead and I'm going to have my information pop in. Here we go. Our sketch. I just had those. I tell you, if I had $1 for every time I just had something, oh my gosh, I would be a wealthy woman. I would be wealthy. All right. All right, let's make sure this is lined up because we need all the assistance we can get. Boom, right there. All right, guys. Now we're going to grab our card base. Add our liquid adhesive to the back. And again, because this is embossed, um, I would be very liberal with the glue. There's just so much texture that we have to make sure that it adheres properly to that card base. There's nothing more than going through all that work. You send it to your whoever the recipient is, they get it, and your card has fallen apart. Right? Nobody wants that. Now, because this is a 4 by 5 1/4 panel, you should have about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And that's about right. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my bone folder. Now, obviously, if you're wanting to see the detail in this, definitely use some color, okay? Now, you can still use basic white, but you can do some ink dragging on there to add a bit of color if you wanted to do that. But here's our card, you guys. Okay, through to our sketch. Now, don't forget, guys, to comment. Leave a comment with your favorite medium for coloring, and if you have used any sort of ink drops for coloring, to be entered into the drawing, and I will do that drawing the next time you see me live. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Sketchy Monday using Mojo sketch number 502. And if you do create using this, go ahead and post the link, post it in on my Facebook group, the link which is in the description box. On that note, you guys have a great evening. Thanks for joining me, and happy stamping.